What's going on, gentlemen? Back again with another video. Good to see y'all again. Been a little while since I posted, so I got a few things to talk about just to encourage y'all. Hope everyone's doing well out there in cyberspace. So I turned 30 last weekend, not this weekend that just passed, but the weekend before. I turned 30. I went out with my boys. Some of my co-workers, some of them were friends, So we all go out. At the end of the night, we end up getting in a big fight. I got sucker punched. That was the beginning of the fight. And we ended up getting jumped. We got the shit kicked out of us. It was like 10 versus 3. Security jumped in, made sure we got our asses whooped. So, yeah, I got my ass whooped for my birthday. I still got a little bruising right here, but, it's all good. Nothing too bad. Little bloody nose, a little bruised up. Other than that, everything's good. So, yeah, we got whooped up on. It was a good time. First fight I've ever lost, but, I learned a lot more from losing that fight than I did from ever winning a fight, right? Winning a fight makes you feel good, but damn it, there's a whole lot more lessons in losing a fight. So I was talking to a girl from Ukraine. We're not talking anymore. Her and I weren't really getting along too well. She was pretty negative, and she was causing, she was doing the thing that girls do, where she's like, kind of like fucking with you and acting like she doesn't want to be with you, and you have to just kind of ignore it and be like, oh yeah, and carry on, right? We were on a date, and at one point I said it. I was like, yeah, you always act like you don't like me just to hide the fact that you do like me. And she was like staring out the window of my truck and was like, how did you know that? Right? I was like, dude, you're a girl, you're very simple. She said, no, we're complicated. And I was like, no, you're not. You're extremely simple creatures. So she kept doing that, and she would do it like she would text me and do that shit. And I didn't like that shit. It was annoying. I'd be at work, and she'd be like trying to cause me issues and be trying to act like she didn't want to go out with me. So, I just stopped talking to her. I hit her up for another date, and it fizzled out. She was mad and was like, nah, I don't really think we should go out on another date. And I was like, all right, yeah, I agree. So that was the end of that, right? I got tired of overcoming her acting like she didn't like me, right? Because every girl's going to do that at some point. They're going to pull back a little bit if they like you, because they want to see how you respond, right? They want to test you. But she just like kept fucking doing it over and over again. And then she would go out on dates with me, right? Give me all the signs that she liked me. So I just got tired of fucking dealing with it, right? And she can go off on her fucking own. She did have some health issues, so I think that's why, right? Like, she wasn't really thinking straight. And I didn't really like that she had health issues. And she also got the COVID jab. She got the first one, and I didn't really like that either. I think the COVID jab was made to, like, fuck up people's fertility. I think that was the main thing, was to try and jab young people to fuck up their fertility. But, whatever. At least we can say the word now on the internet, right? We weren't allowed to say the word in the past. Now you can say it, I think. I don't really know if I'll get censored for that or not. But, yeah. So let's go into, semen retention and everything with that. I want to encourage you guys to keep going with semen retention. I've had a lot of experiences recently, like my fight at the bar. It started because this dude was talking shit to me inside the bathroom. And when you're retaining like this, it's going to make men jealous of your energy, of your aura. If you're a handsome man, they're already going to have a natural jealousy. But if you're retaining, lifting, you're confident, you're taking care of yourself, you're eating healthy, you look good, you feel good, your back is straight, everything like that. the deeper voice that it gives you, everything that comes with retaining and just having those higher testosterone levels and having your balls full of sperm, right? That having balls full of sperm, what y'all aren't understanding is, like, I think you like store like sperm in your fucking prostate, and it builds up in your balls and gets stored in your prostate. When you do that, right, that shit, when you're sweating, when you're going to the gym, when you're going for a walk, when you're sweating, that shit is leaking out of your pores, that higher testosterone and that sperm. And so that's those pheromones where it's like women can smell it on you. They can smell that you're fertile, right? That's really what it comes down to, is that they can smell like fertility on you, right? So I go to the bar with my boys, women all over the place are checking me out, right? I stick out like a sore thumb because they can just sense it, right? And men can sense it too, that you've got this kind of intimidating energy about you, right? To women, it's arousing. To men, it's intimidating. So naturally, if you're that type of man who is arousing women and intimidating men, men are going to challenge you, right? There was a scientific study done on that top level, like alpha male type men, men with high testosterone got challenged more than men with low testosterone, right? And it's the same thing when I'm at work, right? In my office, I get challenged a lot. People that have worked with me in the field notice that even customers that I talk to challenge me a lot. They're much more rude to me than they are other people, right? And I know what it is. Life is a bitch. It's the game, right? These people I'm selling, and these people are trying to say, no, I'm not going to buy. No, I don't want to buy, right? And I just keep pushing. I just ignore it. Yeah, that's fine. I get it. I understand. We're just going to put you in the system here and, just see if you qualify and work everything out, right? And they end up buying, right? It's the same thing as this Ukrainian girl. I don't really like you. I don't know if I want to go out. Okay, well, what are you doing Tuesday night? I'm free Tuesday night. And she comes out with me, right? And clearly she likes me in person, but over text, she's like, I don't fucking like you. So, when you have that energy about you, people are going to challenge you. Men are going to challenge you. So that's what happened with this fight. I was in the bathroom. This dude was challenging me. He ended up calling me gay. And he said something about, like, I'm in the Air Force, right? He was a little too drunk. He was barking up a tree he didn't need to bark up because he was a little fucking pipsqueak talking shit to me in the bathroom with another pipsqueak friend. And I looked him dead in his eyes and said, I used to be in the Air Force. And he, looked, his eyes shifted around. And I knew he was a bitch at that moment when his eyes shifted around, because I looked him dead in his eyes, because it was like, from my perspective, I haven't drank in 4 months. I'm feeling good. I've got some drinks in me. I'm looking him dead in his eyes like, you talking shit, bro. I will fucking kill you. I'll fucking kill you in this fucking bathroom, you and your friend. Don't give a fuck, right? And he didn't say nothing. He ended up just dipping out the bathroom, right? So I shoved him on my way out, and his friend sucker punched me, and we ended up fighting. It is what it is. They were friends with security, so yeah, that happened. But it was the challenge, right? I got challenged. And when you're retaining, this is going to come to you. Again, like I said, you've got that fertility that's just kind of seeping out your pores. You're breathing it, right? You're like breathing out strong energy, fertility, right? And so people can feel that. The office that I work in, there's a young guy that I work with. He's 24, 25, handsome guy. He might be more handsome than me. I don't know. We'd have to ask females what they think. But it'd be damn close. It would be damn close, but he's like on my level of good looking, right? And just a handsome man. And I've been around guys like this before, somehow I'm always better with women than they are. And it's because I retain. It's because just simply off of having that sperm in my fucking body and not releasing it, I get more respect from females. They can tell, right? They can tell with this guy that he goes around and fucks everything that walks, right? I stopped doing that when I was his age, when I was 24. And they can sense that energy on him, that he's kind of dirty. He's kind of a dirt bag, and he'll fuck anything that walks, right? And he'll come in up on some days, down on other days, right? And he'll allow these women to disrespect him. For me, I've nipped it in the butt, right? There's been a couple girls that have tried to disrespect me. It's been like, drama in the office because I nip it in the butt immediately. As soon as they try to disrespect me, it's like, no, you're absolutely not going to disrespect me. And so now all the females in the office have a level of respect for me that they don't for other women or for other men in the office. And me and this guy were talking about that, and he was trying to figure it out, and he said, like, it's just because they like me more than they like you, right? So they give me more problems. And I was like, no, that's not really true, right? Like, you're not dating these girls. In the beginning, a girl should give you less problems, right? Girls are at a place now where they think, I guess it's fine that they give you issues, right? It's like a barrier of entry that they're going to give you issues. The thing is they disrespect him. That's the difference that he's missing, is they're not like teasing him to give him an issue. It's that they're actually like disrespecting him. They're actually saying shit that like it ruffles his feathers, right? He comes back and talks to me about it. I guess that would be the difference in what's going on between him and I, is because there's like, all the guys in the office know that if there's something that needs to be said, I'm the one to say it, because I'm gonna get the least amount of lip back. A lot of times, everyone's just gonna be quiet and take what I say, right? They're gonna be quiet and take the dick. They're gonna take the verbal spanking that I'm handing out. So, that's what retention can do for you, is it commands that respect from females because they know that you're sexually disciplined, right? Now, the females in my office that don't like me, right? There's a couple females that like hate me, right? They've said it out of their own mouths. They talk bad about me, call me a misogynist and all that shit. These females are mid. They are 4, 5, 6, right? They're not attractive females. And that's a big thing I want to communicate to y'all right here, is that a lot of times the girls that are going to cause big time issues, right? Just like this Ukrainian girl. She was attractive. She was a little overweight. She even said it herself. She had health issues, right? She had low iron, as she would say, and low hemoglobin because she didn't eat pork or beef. Weird shit. And she had issues with her fertility, with her period, right? And she had the COVID jab. So she was just, she was off, right? And she would cause issues. She would never disrespect me. She would never say anything disrespectful to me, but she would just cause issues, right? And I would give her, if she was skinny, six and a half, 7. If she lost a little bit of weight, I'd give her a 6.5 or 7, right? Something like that. The girls that I work with in the office that aren't too attractive, that are kind of mids, are the ones that don't like me, are the ones that are salty all the time by my presence, right? They're salty when every single week I'm at the top of the leaderboard and I'm performing, right? I went to Chicago because I earned it, right? One of the girls went to Chicago. She didn't fucking earn it. It was given to her by the manager. So, one girl in the office, I worked with her last Wednesday for the first time, and she's the prettiest girl in the office. She doesn't wear makeup. I didn't know that until we were working together in the field, and she mentioned that she didn't wear makeup, and in my head, I'm like, wow, you are way more attractive for that, because she was already the hottest girl in the office with no makeup. And she doesn't care, right? She likes me. I've known she's tried to start conversations with me multiple times. I've not really talked to her much. I've just been kind of like, yeah, whatever. I'll respond to her, but I don't really talk to her much. And in the field, we were working together, right? She told me a couple times that I was funny. She told me that I was cool, right? She likes me. Romantically, right? And so working with her just gave me that realization that, like, oh yeah, the hot girls don't care when you're a misogynist. It's always the ugly girls that care. It's always the mid girls that care. Like, mid and below, they always care. Hot girls, like truly girls who are hot, or girls who have a good father or an older brother. This girl has an older brother that's 28 in her life. These kinds of girls that are still underneath a patriarch, they have a patriarch to guide them, or the girls that are just good looking, they don't give a fuck about feminism. They don't want to hear about that shit. They don't like that shit. This Ukrainian girl was like that. She wasn't on none of that shit. Didn't give a fuck about it. And this girl was that way. I said stuff that other girls would lose their fucking minds over, right? I made a bitch in the office get up out of her chair and told her it was the equality, right? She wanted some chivalry, and I was like, no, it's the equality, right? Get the fuck up. She didn't earn it. We have chairs in the office that you have to earn. She didn't earn it. She was sitting in one of them. It was someone else's chair. Get the fuck up. You didn't earn it. I've given her, this specific girl, my chair when she did not earn it, right? I've given it to her. I've given a chair to every female in this office when they did not earn it. But if they're going to say things about me behind my back, you're not going to get the chivalry, right? Get the fuck up. They'll respect me to my face, talk shit behind my back. Yeah, they ain't going to do none of that. So, working with this girl, realizing that she was the hottest girl in the office, and I told her that. I was like, because she told me, she was like, yeah, you and this other guy are the most hated in the office. And she was like, none of the guys hate you. It's just the girls. This other guy, some of the guys don't like him. But she was like, all the guys are cool with you. It's the girls that don't like you. And I was like, yeah, well, we are the most handsome guys in the office, so, it kind of happens, right? She didn't really say anything. And then I was like, none of the girls in the office ever talk to you. And she was like, yeah, I kind of just keep to myself. I don't really talk to people first. Like, if they don't talk to me, I don't talk, right? Except for me. She talks to me first. Right? So, of course, I noticed that. But she said that, and I said, yeah, it's because you're the prettiest girl in the office. They're jealous of you. Right? And she loved it. She did not expect me to call her pretty, because I've been working with her for like 8 hours at this point. And it wasn't like, I wasn't even trying to compliment her. I was just being rational that, like, yeah, this is actually why. The reason that the girls don't talk to you and they don't include you as one of the girls is because you're prettier than them. And they all know that you don't wear makeup, right? I don't know. I'm a guy. But these girls know that you don't wear makeup, and they are salty that you're prettier than them without makeup, and they all have makeup, right? This would be like a dude taking steroids and still being smaller than you. Think of how salty that dude would be. Right, so, I'm in Chicago. I go to Chicago, and I had earned this, and the one girl that hates me the most, that tells everyone I'm a misogynist, right? She's just some liberal fucking feminist, fucking blonde girl, stupid bitch. Mid as fuck, dude. She's a 5. She has no femininity to her, right? When you're around her, it does not feel like you're talking to a girl. It's very strange, and she knows it, right? She's very anxious about that fact that it's like she gets friend zoned by men. She knows. So we go to Chicago. She's there. There's a Eastern European girl there, and she's from the other office right next door to us, right? So I've met her once before. They've come to our office, right? From a different city, but it's only an hour away, and they've come to our office. And I met this girl before. She's from Albania. Beautiful. She's the prettiest girl in this organization that I've seen between these two offices. She's the prettiest one, hands down. Eastern European. She's married. That's unfortunate. But she's the only one that's married, right? And she was in Chicago. We're in Chicago at this conference. She's the only female out of the hundreds of females that were there. She was the only one in a dress. Every single other female had a suit on. She had on a dress, right? So, you know, and the way that she acts, the way that she moves, the way that her hair was done, everything about her is extremely feminine. Just like this Ukrainian girl. Extremely, just classically feminine. If they feel anxious, they don't like externalize it, right? It just stays within them. They stay very calm. They don't talk a lot, so their anxiety is very low. They move, their movements are very slow, smooth and graceful, right? As compared to an American woman where she'll be anxious and erratic because a lot of times they want to talk, they want to be heard, they want to speak over people. And so they get real anxious and erratic because they're trying to act like a man. They want respect like a man. This girl would sit and we could be talking as men for an hour. And the other girls would chime in and this girl would not speak a single word for an entire hour. She wouldn't talk unless someone spoke to her, right? She was a woman. And she likes me, right? I made her laugh, smile the whole fucking time we were around each other, right? And the other girls, the mids, are a little bit salty, right? They're avoiding like laughing at the things that I say, unless they're just outrageously hilarious. But this, you know, Albanian girl, she's got a smile on her face, beautiful smile, right? She's got a smile on her face the whole time. And I'm noticing this, right? I'm sitting here and I'm like, this is the only one in a dress. And this whole time she's like looking at me and smiling. And these other girls are avoiding eye contact. They're avoiding looking at me and they're avoiding laughing and smiling, right? They're just avoiding being a girl and admitting that like, okay, this guy's funny. This guy's very entertaining. I'm kind of enjoying myself right now, right? They're just avoiding that. Trying to talk to this other dude that was with us, he's kind of a lame-o. He didn't jump in when we got jumped. There was 5 of us there. Only 3 of us fought. 2 guys didn't jump in. So, you know, I don't trust this guy anymore, right? He didn't jump in and swing on nobody. Just literally just spectated and watched us get whooped on by fucking 10 people. So the girls would talk to, right? But not the Albanian one, right? She didn't talk to him. She didn't engage with him, but she talked to me. And so between these 2 girls, right, that was in Chicago. We were in Chicago on Monday and Tuesday. And then Wednesday, I worked with this girl in our office who was pretty. And I realized, like, oh, yeah, wait, yeah. It's always the beautiful girls that don't care. The beautiful girls don't want feminism. The beautiful girls don't want to work a job. They want to be a girl. They want to have a family. They want to act like girls. They don't want these big girl jobs. They don't talk to you about their promotion. None of that shit. This Ukrainian girl didn't ask me a single time what I did for work. She didn't give a fuck what I did for work. You talk to an American bitch and she's immediately asking you what you do for work. And almost no matter what you do, it's like not cool, right? She like doesn't care unless you like lie to her and make up some story about what you do and make it sound way cooler than what it is, right? This Ukrainian girl, right? We went out 3 different times. Not a single time did she ask what I did for work. She didn't give a fuck. She cared about who I was as a man. And so, you know, guys, I just want to encourage y'all to keep retaining and not listen to modern females. Never listen to modern females. You should never, ever listen to women. You should never, ever follow what women say. You should judge them and see if they're like truly feminine women, and then you can be around them. And you never follow her. You don't always listen to what she says, but you can learn in subtle ways from her by observing her, right? You can learn things like what I just learned, you know, that it's always the beautiful girls that don't ever want feminism, that don't ever want this bullshit. They want a strong, attractive man. They want a confident man. They don't want to tear you down. They don't want to control you. They want you to lead. They want you to build. They want to build you up and make you stronger, right? So, gentlemen, you know, feminism has taught women to act this way, to be real shitty, to tear men down. And the only way it's going to affect you is if you are desperate for that hole between her legs. That's it. If you have sexual control, it can't affect you. It can't bother you. And if you can remember, don't get emotionally involved with a woman. Stay logical all the time. And if you can remember that she's actually not that pretty, right? That girl who's being mean to you is likely not very pretty. And she's mad about that. She's like a short man, or a man with a tiny dick, as they would say, right? As the females would say, right? That's the card that they play when a man is angry. Oh, you're short. Oh, your dick's probably small, right? She's angry because she's not attractive, and that's like objectively true. Everyone can see it. Everyone can visibly see that you are a 5. You are an extremely average girl. And you learned that, sweetheart, in high school, because the men did not pay attention to you. The men you liked other girls. She's mad. She's been mad ever since. So she's a feminist. She wants to dominate men. So I want y'all to remember that a lot of these girls that you get, like, you let get in your head, you're letting feminism dominate you and convince you that you shouldn't go on dates because the girls are all fucked. No. It's just the girls who aren't attractive that are all fucked. I'm telling y'all right now, find yourself a foreign woman. Find yourself an Asian, a Latina, or an Eastern European woman who grew up in a different country. She's not like that. Find yourself a beautiful woman. A woman that's truly attractive. She's not like that. Find yourself a woman who has a patriarch in her life, an older brother, an uncle, a dad, strong grandfather, a strong man in her life. Find a girl like that. You'll find a good girl. All the other girls, none of what they say matters. None of what they say matters. They call me a misogynist. They say I hate women. All the beautiful girls know that I understand the world much better than most men. And they love me for that. So, hope these have been good words of encouragement, gentlemen. Like the video, comment what you think, subscribe to my channel, and have a good one.